Tiffany Evans is a singer, dancer, and actress best known for starring in Tyler Perry's Diary of a Mad Black Woman and her 2007 hit Promise Ring featuring Ciara. Though Tiffany has been far from idle following the release of her debut self-titled album, she hasn't made much noise. In this video, we chronicle her career, which is far more extensive than people probably realize, and talk about what went wrong, how someone so gifted and talented fell through the cracks. Our music is ours. Tiffany Evans was born August 4th, 1992 in the Bronx to Lonnie and Carol Evans. She is the 7th child out of more than 10 children. According to her mother, Tiffany started singing at 2 years old. She had aspirations of becoming an obstetrician, but singing and acting were the dreams she hoped to accomplish first.
I want to be a singer, an actress, and an obstetrician because I like to deliver babies.
Growing up, Tiffany loved watching biopics like The Temptations, What's Love Got to Do with It, and the Frankie Lyman movie, and would force her siblings to reenact the scenes with her. In 2001, a 9-year-old Tiffany Evans did her first televised performance on Showtime at the Apollo, performing Patti LaBelle's There's a Winner in You. She didn't win, but she would continue to persevere through immense trials such as her parents losing their jobs and eventually their home. This led to Tiffany and her family living in a van with 4 out of her at the time 10 siblings. In search for a better life, they planned to move to Florida, where Tiffany's grandmother lived, but they didn't have enough money, so they ended up in Atlantic City instead. While there, Tiffany would end up in the Tiffany Lounge of the Tropicana Hotel where the James Ingram Band was playing and the lead singer handed her the mic. She sang Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You and blew them out of the water. And as luck would have it, someone from Columbia was there and invited Tiffany to their office. Wow. But nothing came about from that initial interaction. However, through a waitress, Tiffany got connected to a vocal coach who found an apartment for the family and encouraged her to audition for Star Search. In 2003, Tiffany got on a plane for the first time ever to go to Los Angeles to compete, and she won. Tiffany is the only person in the junior division of Star Search history to have a perfect score on all performances.
I've never in all my years witnessed anyone with such phenomenal talent, natural ability.
You are a once-in-a-lifetime genius of song.
I've seen so many musicians and, 3 times their age and, not one was as good as you.
In retrospect, she credits her skills to studying greats like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and James Brown. Shortly after Star Search, Tiffany signed to Columbia, appeared on Oprah twice as well as The Jay Leno Show and the TV show The District. In August, the LA Times reported in an article discussing the bleak outcomes of reality stars that Tiffany was doing slightly better than her contemporaries, because she was at least still in entertainment, performing in an Ed Sullivan-like variety show at the Tropicana Hotel with a practically non-existent line for autographs. While we can look back and see that the article's dim assessment of Tiffany's career may have been true, at the time it was released it was too premature given that Tiffany had only won the competition a few months back. It also didn't take into account the industry's long-standing issue with marketing underage black girls. Brandy was one of the first to break the mold and experience long-term mainstream success alongside peers like Aaliyah and Monica. Tiffany was even younger than those three, so Columbia had no idea what to do with her. So they experimented, hoping to get it right through trial and error. In September 2004, Tiffany released her first single, a cover of Stacey Lattisaw's Let Me Be Your Angel, which peaked at number 93 on the Hot R&B and Hip Hop Songs chart. The following month, she released a self-titled EP filled with covers. It was not easily accessible as it was only released through select digital retailers and limited to stores. 3 years would pass before Tiffany would make another attempt. Tiffany believes this is because they wanted her age to catch up with her voice.
Pretty much, when you're that young, it's hard to be an artist and be believable at the same time.
Right.
So I think they wanted me to grow a little bit.
In the meantime, Tiffany remained active. She starred in Tyler Perry's first feature film, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, in 2005, where she played Tyler's character's daughter and got the chance to showcase her vocal ability on the song Father Can You Hear Me? She also released a single, Thinking About, that would eventually find itself on her album years later. In 2006, Tiffany lent her voice for the soundtrack for Tarzan 2, where she sang Who Am I?, featured on the film's end credits. In 2007, Tiffany appeared on Law & Order playing Blair Underwood's daughter. In May, now managed by Falana Williams, who was at the time Ciara's manager, Tiffany released Promise Ring featuring Ciara as the lead single for her self-titled debut album. Although it only peaked at number 66 on the Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart, it's a mini classic. People including myself still love this song to this day. Tiffany wouldn't return until January 2008 with her follow-up, I'm Grown, featuring Bow Wow, which only peaked at number 98. While I liked this song, this wasn't the best choice because the lyrics were too mature for her fan base and alienated her rather than make her relatable, because not many teens have their own money or have the gall to tell their parents, you ain't gonna run me. In April, after being on Sony for 5 years, Tiffany finally released her debut self-titled album, featuring production from hitmakers like Neo, Rodney Jerkins, Rico Love, and Hit Boy. It peaked at number 134 on the Billboard 200. In retrospect, Tiffany has said, my debut didn't come out the way I envisioned it. I was never able to speak up for myself and say, this is not who I am. By late 2008, Tiffany was back in the lab working on her sophomore album Ponytail Crush, slated for release in early 2009. The album was supposed to be a coming-of-age project. Tiffany hoped to rewrite the wrongs of her previous release, telling Wrap Up, when I sat down with my manager and the record label, I told them that I did not want to be limited in the type of songs I recorded this time around. I want to make music for everyone. However, 2009 came and the album never materialized, but what did was Twitter drama. In response to Rihanna's single Russian Roulette, Tiffany put out tweets implying that Rihanna was a devil worshipper. It bothered Rihanna enough that she went on Big Boy's radio show and said,
You got the remote control, and they're sitting there, they're talking. Beep.
It has to be like the most annoying person.
Aside from anyone in this room then.
For no reason, and acting like she knows me, and
She says something about you?
The whole devil worshiping thing, it was a whole, she put out this whole statement, so.
It was like, Tiffany Evans, who the hell is that? Did I go to high school with her?
Tiffany retracted her statements, claiming that she was misinterpreted, but then after hearing Rihanna's response, shaded her again by saying, at least she can sing, which she claims wasn't shade. This was a poor choice on Tiffany's end because she shouldn't have negatively spoken about another artist's music. By doing so, she burned a bridge with a major artist whose star has only grown since then, but also with the writer Neo and producer Chuck Harmony. Chuck put out a tweet where he called her an idiot and said, an artist should understand art, so with Tiffany Evans' rant, I can safely say that the title artist should not be a part of her bio. Personally, I think that all parties involved went too far. Tiffany was still a teenager at that time, so they should have extended her some grace for her immaturity and just ignored the comments. Moving forward, In 2010, with neither her EP nor debut album making a substantial impact on her career, Tiffany hired Matthew Knowles as her manager.
As far as me and Matthew and our relationship, he's really amazing, and he's a teacher. And every time I come around him, I'm learning something.
Under him, Tiffany released I'll Be There in October as the lead single for her second album, Perfect Imperfection. The video was released 3 months later on 106 in Park, and the song peaked at number 61 on the Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart. Though I'll Be There outperformed her previous singles, Tiffany left Matthew Knowles in March 2011. Notably, she and Beyonce left him around the same time. Tiffany also requested to be released by Columbia. She was offered other label deals but declined, opting to create her own company, Little Lady Entertainment. Tiffany didn't badmouth Matthew or Sony. She instead said that they just weren't aligned and expressed a desire to learn the business and have more creative control.
Well, I had been with Columbia for 10 years when I left, and I was just like, you know what, it's just time to do something different. I really want to learn the business for myself. I want to know, what goes on behind everything.
This is part 1 of What Happened to Tiffany Evans. Stay tuned for part 2, out next week.